So England 34, Japan 12, a bonus point in the end for England. It wasn't looking that way at the beginning, but it was a slow burner. Definitely not a classic, but job done for England. They should have qualified for the quarterfinals with that win. So let's get stuck into this game, see what we can draw out of it. And England, a little bit fortunate early on. A missed kick from Daly is actually fumbled in goal from the Japanese fullback, and he actually had to go off soon after with an injury. So a horror game for him, that's for sure. So 3-0. And the go-to tactic from England, you guessed it, is the kick, the tactical kick or the contestable kick. And to be fair, they were winning back pretty much all of these kicks. So yeah, they might as well carry on. Not the most interesting to watch, but certainly effective. On 7 minutes, first good attack of the game from Japan from a cross-field kick. They chip ahead and bundle Daly into touch, but actually it's Marler in the end of all people with the jackal. So England did save themselves a couple of times in this first half. On 11 minutes in, making a note that really, like the Argentinian game, England's basic are their strongest suit. The line out pretty slick, the maul pretty steady. The attacking game, well, we didn't see any of it till the end really. Japan's attack looked pretty sharp, some good offloads, but England do scramble and survive conceding the try, but do concede a penalty, so that's 3-0, kick from Masuda. 20 minutes in, Japan, they're playing all that running rugby early on. Ford's kick is nastily charged down from Masuda again, who had a good game, but Mitchell clears up. Then a little chip kick from Masuda, finds grass, but Lemeki just knocks on. That could have been a try as well. So England definitely hanging on in the first 20 minutes a bit, but it's a penalty, so 3-6, Japan ahead. Then we get a lovely prod through from Ford. That puts Japan 5 metres out from their own line, playing to England's strongest suit, the line out. They disrupt it, Chesham snaffles, and we go over 10-6. So good play from England from the line out there. Definitely their strength in this game. Yeah, Laws of Toji making a real nuisance of themselves for sure. Then Matsuda, a bit of a mistake here. Tackle off the ball, gives Ford a kick from in front, but actually he slices it pretty badly this time. So penalty miss from Ford, but apart from that, he kicked pretty well. Then a few minutes later, England pick up the loose ball as they have done from most kick chases. So that was, a strong suit for England. Like I said, not the greatest to watch, but it was absolutely working. But Johnny May with a pretty killer penalty who takes out the Japanese return kicker, which means Japan get the penalty where the ball lands, which is 50 metres back. So an easy 3 points for Japan, 10-9. So England's go-to tactic with the ball at the moment is to get rid of the ball, which is probably the right idea, to be honest, because they can't do anything with it. Japan get too excited and trying to do too much with it and run out of their 22. They chip straight into touch, which gives England a really good platform. They've got a good line out, but when they go beyond the maul, the back peel just doesn't work as Bennell fires the circle ball straight into Jamie George's face. So that's a bad look for sure. But just on 40 minutes, England go through a few phases of attack before getting rucked off the ball actually, but they do have a penalty which Ford knocks over. 13-9. So what can you say about that half? Well, probably all you can say is it happened. Possibly the least interesting half of the World Cup so far, but England are up and they'll take it. Now in the second half, to be fair to England, there is more ambition. They try and work some players out wide. Laws and Earl combine nicely on 40 minutes to send Daly down the left, but not really enough pace to trouble Japan. But it is better from England. They're mixing it up. Some clever little chip kicks in behind. Mitchell goes on a good run. But again, after a few phases, England do get confused and muck it up. Stewart knocking on this time. So yeah, it's a messy start to the half, but England are trying to play a bit. I think you have to say the humidity didn't help the players in this game, but it's been humid for a lot of games, so I guess you could say it's the same for everyone, but definitely a lot of slippery knock-ons in this game. But anyway, some promising early signs from England. Laws, Earl, like I said, breaking through quite a few times, but past those phases, they're running out of options, so they tend just to kick through as a last resort rather than kicking on the front foot. So not really inspiring so far, but yeah, Japan not the greatest either. Japan, their phases aren't really going anywhere, but at least they're quick and they win a penalty trapping Chesham on the wrong side of the ruck. So that's 13-12. On 55 minutes, it's a try for England, but it's pretty hilarious to be honest. Bennell makes a good break, he was good all game in attack, but it looks like they muck up the handling on the rewind as Ford fires a pass. Will Stewart lets it slip through his hands, but it's backwards. It smashes into Joe Marler's face and goes forwards, but it's not a lock-on off the head. And Courtney Laws looks a bit apologetic really, picks up the ball and kind of thinks about putting it down, so he does, and it's given as a try. So pretty funny, but also very crucial, 20 points to 12. And surprisingly, that actually burst the game into life. We've got counter-attack from Freddie Stewart. England find some gaps, but knock on. Japan burst up the other end. Matsushima running around Will Stewart like he's literally standing still, to be fair, but they knock on. So very slippery for both sides, but it's opening up. On 62 minutes, England's best attacking phase so far. Some decent early breaks into the phases. Genge off the bench is making a bit of an impact, but of course, as it goes past a few phases, someone knocks it on. Will Stewart this time, not the greatest game for him, to be fair. Very frustrating to watch. On 64 minutes, it's the killer blow from England. Another try, quite a well executed try, but to be fair, Japan make a complete hash of clearing their lines from a scrum. England get their own scrum, decent scrum. Ford on the front foot, kicks off his wrong foot, spotting Freddie Stewart out wide off his left foot. Nice kick, nice catch, nice dot down. Good try, 27-12, and a lovely conversion from Ford. So actually completing an attack was nice to see. Then Smith comes on at fullback, which is interesting because Stewart had done pretty well. Maybe even shifting Stewart to one of the wings could have been an option there, but Smith does well when he comes on, actually bumping players off, stepping players, looking a bit like an outside back actually, which is quite impressive for a fly half. 10 minutes away from the end of the game, and I'm not quite sure why England are still leaving the ball in the scrum to try and get penalties when they haven't really been going anywhere. But anyway, they can kick, they can regather, they know they can do that, and they start to pop in attack a little bit. Marcus Smith, like I said, bursting through, bumping off players. Bernal to the fore, very dangerous. Again, England's best attacker, I think, by a long way. But here, unfortunately, England slow it right down and just go one out, pick and go, and Japan can read it easily, and they muck it up to England. So they had Japan on the ropes there. I would have liked to see a bit more ingenuity near the line. So that's a bit of a shame. Japan have been disappointed. It looks like the game's going to fizzle out without the bonus point, but right at the end, England's best scrum at the end of the game. They get a shot at the bonus point. Good maul from the 22, good runs from Theo Dan off the bench, so that was good impact. And then a very smart change of direction from Ford and Marcus Smith, who creates an extra man to the other side, and it's marching, hitting the straight line for a nice finish. So best try of the game to finish with. Leaves on a nice positive note for England, 32-12. But was it a great game? No, but it's definitely job done for England. They're probably through to the quarterfinals, and in these last couple of pool games they're going to want to show a little bit more in attack, but maybe, just maybe, some promising signs. Anyway, comments below on that game, and I'll catch you next time.